So that abrupt closure is that our lights in this room are on a timer. They're motion sensor lights. We have the sensor covered so that it doesn't come on during a massage. The timer shut them off. So just picking up where we left off, rocking is finished. So I lowered the table a little bit, but not a lot. Undraping the back. I'm doing effleurage only, and I'm using the term a little bit loosely. I know some people think that effleurage needs to always go toward the heart, or there's different concerns about exactly what effleurage means. I am using the term to mean a gliding stroke only. I'm not ever going to pick up the skin or the muscles or anything and knead or squeeze or press. No thumbs, no friction, just nice broad effleurage with the palms of my hands and my fingers. Sometimes fingers alone, sometimes heels of the hands alone. And you can do your effleurage in a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to just be along the spine. You can do it across the spine, perpendicular to the spine. You can do circular effleurage, staying to one side of the spine or the other. And just for the sake of balance, I'll go ahead and do both sides.
Oh, thank you.
You can do sort of a pulling kind of a thing. I'm not grasping and kneading. All I'm doing is gliding my palms and fingers over her back. I'm not using a ton of pressure, enough that I'm engaging the muscles, but not so much that I'm doing, trigger point or neuromuscular type work. More than rubbing lotion on the skin, less than giving a deep massage. So your effleurage stage at the beginning should probably be, a solid 2 minutes. It's nice, it's relaxing, it feels good, and it moves fluid, and it moves blood, and it moves chi. So I'm going to demonstrate the point holding while Jen's still in the prone position. It's easier to do it while she's prone than to try to show it on her arms or legs. So point holding has 3 characteristics. Those are that it should be steady, which is to say that I'm not like pressing in, pressing out. It's not a pulsing kind of a thing like I'm doing with my right hand. It's just steady. It should be supported. In this case, Jen's body is supported by the whole table, so I don't really need to worry about that anymore. Steady, supported, and then the last feature is that it's vertical. I don't want my fingers down flat. I want really pretty much to be straight up and down. It is possible that you might leave some nail marks, light nail marks on your client. That's not a big deal. You're not clawing at them. They're just light nail marks. Better that than to be flat. You want to stay vertical. So steady, supported, and vertical. The amount of pressure that you use is always sort of subject to interpretation. Again, I'm not pressing super deep, but I'm also pressing in a little bit. I'm pressing into the muscle tissue underneath. You may feel a little buzzing feeling, a little pulsing feeling, or you may not. Different clients' bodies do different things, and different therapists perceive different things. So that's okay. Steady, supported, and vertical. The point holding, I probably went a little long there, is generally 30 seconds to 2 minutes. The decision-making process about how long you do is one of those intuition things. Just go with what your gut tells you. And then I come out of it, and I do some nice effleurage again. Now the next point I'm going to do is a single point in the middle of the body. Most of the meridians and acupoints are paired right and left on the body. This particular point is on a meridian that goes straight up the spine, so it is a single point. I hold with one hand. My other hand, I need to be cautious about where I rest it. It doesn't matter which hand I use. I happen to have used my left hand, could be my right, doesn't matter. I'm going to rest my hand on her sacrum. What I want to be cautious about is that I don't just like let my hand flop onto her butt. I placed it specifically on her sacrum. So cautious about where you place your hands. You always want to have both hands on the client. And again, I sort of glide out of it, a little more effleurage. And on to the next point, steady, supported, and vertical. I don't want my other fingers touching, one finger at a time. Other fingers should be lifted. It's also possible to use your thumbs. Many people use their middle finger because it's the longest finger and it's sometimes easier to keep the rest of your fingers out of the way. So, working prone, I rocked the body while it was still covered. I did effleurage. And then I did just a few of the points that are on the prone portion of the body, just for demonstration purposes. That's not the whole routine. So rocking, effleurage, point holding, etc., etc. I finish with a little effleurage. And I close this segment of the massage by lifting the drape. And that's it for this portion.